Alright, good morning. So this week I want to try to make some cat ears and a cat tail to wear to a pop event that I'm going to on Friday. It's Pop Cats, something like that. It's basically a cat con. And I was thinking I would make them look like calico ears and tail so that I could match my foster kitten Rivendell. She's my beautiful girl. She purring right now. I'm gonna put her back with her sister, but I wanted to show you her so that she will be my inspiration for these ears. So I'm gonna have to, I got white faux fur to use. Oh my goodness, you're so happy. So I'm gonna have to try to figure out how I'm going to paint spots on it when it's done. So we're gonna have to test that out as well. Alright, so the reason why I decided I wanted to make some was I have made some before with like felt sheets. I used to wear them a lot in college when I took Japanese and stuff, so I would wear those a lot. But I haven't in a while, so I wanted to make some. And all of the ones that I saw online that I really liked were at least $25, and I'm like, I wonder if I could make it a little cheaper if I made it myself. So we're gonna look at the prices and what I spent. I did forget to get a headband for the ears, but I looked in my supplies and I saw this. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I might potentially try to make a headband out of this. If it doesn't work, my husband does work near a Michael's, and I could see if he could pick one up if this doesn't work on his way home from work today. We'll see. Hopefully this would work though, because I have it. Then we won't have to spend more. Okay, so this is the faux fur that I found at Joann's that I decided to use. I only got half a yard and it feels like it's so much. Like, I feel like I could make more than one pair of like ears and tail maybe. And this was $7 for half a yard, which I feel like that isn't bad. $7 for the main fabric. And then this was like $2.39. I think I was able to use a coupon on it. So 7, 8, 9, about $9 in materials so far. It might end up being a couple more dollars if we have to buy a headband, but it's already looking like it'll be cheaper than the ones that I bought online. Hopefully it'll turn out good though. Alright, so I did draft out an ear pattern. I kind of measured how high up I wanted the ear to come, and then I kind of measured in a circle like how wide that would end up being for that 3D cat ear shape that I wanted. So I'll show you how I drafted that in a moment, but I want to see if this will work for a headband. Okay, so I took it out of the plastic. I'm trying to cut away the zip tie. Boop. Okay, I don't know how bendy this stuff is. It might be too frail. Let me just try. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, I think this is a bit too flexible. I don't think it's gonna work for my headband, but I'll see if my husband doesn't mind stopping at Michael's for me. Okay, so I do have this headband, which is super cute, but I've never worn it. I am considering trying to slide the bow off and using this for my ears. And I could keep the bow and maybe make it interchangeable even. Maybe I could slide the ears off later on if I wanted to, and then put the bow back on if I wanted a bow look. Okay, so bow is intact, and now I have a headband. I just need to hide that. Okay, if you want to see how I drafted my ear pattern, I just kind of put my tape measure on top of my head, and I was like 3 inches about the tallest I would want for ears, and then I kind of rounded out this shape, and I was like, for that 3D shape, I think 4 inches is good. So I'm going to show you how I took those 3 inches and 4 inches and made a pattern. Okay, so this is very scientific how I did it. All right, so first I'm grabbing my pen. This is the pattern that I came up with, and I'm going to show you how. You can change the dimensions if you want your ears taller or wider. I thought for me 3 inches was good, so I line up my measuring tape with one of the lines just to use as my template area. So I want it 3 inches tall. And then I saw that the dimensional shape of 4 inches was pretty good. So I'm going to measure 2 inches on this side and 2 inches on this side. So that makes it a total of 4 inches wide. And now I don't want my ear to be completely symmetrical. I want it to be offset to where the outer edge is a little bit longer and the inner edge is a little bit shorter. So how I did that was I just kind of moved this line over by 2 line marks. So that's like ½ an inch. So if you're drafting on paper that's not lined, I moved it ½ an inch over so it's offset a little bit. And then I took that line and I just kind of did this. And so this is going to be my inner ear. And this just shows the grain line, little arrow. And then on this line is going to be a little longer, so this is going to be the outer part of the ear. So I just kind of curved that and made it meet up to this point. And now it's a little offset. And then I wanted the ear to curve around my head more. So just from this mark to here, I just kind of lowered it a little bit and a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of curve this down, make it go a little bit past my 4-inch mark just to kind of make those sharper corners. And then I did that again just a little bit over here. Not super scientific about it, but just until I thought it looked pretty good. And that's how I came up with my pattern. And I literally, it's like the exact same. This is exactly how like I drafted this ear. It matches up perfectly by just following again what I did the first time. So this is my ear pattern. And so I mark how the inner ear and the outer ear just so I don't get confused and flip it. So when I do one side of the head ear, I'm going to have to cut the other one to where it's flipped like this, so that it's mirrored to make ears that'll be even. So this is my pattern, and I'll probably add a little bit of seam allowance. So I'll just take this one to be my new pattern with added seam allowance. Do I need seam allowance on the bottom? Yeah, I'll add it just in case. So that'll be like my added seam allowance. So this is my cat ear shape so far. Hopefully that's easy for you to follow. It seems pretty easy for me at least. So I'm going to cut this out, and this is my new pattern piece. And I literally just drafted this on regular line paper. And my husband is going to bring home his glue gun from work because I was thinking of, instead of attempting to do this the proper sewing way, I would do it the quick way and just glue it like a normal cosplay costume possibly would be when trying to be done in a quick manner. So that's how I drafted it. Alright, so we should be ready to cut out our piece of faux fur. So we have everything ready. We have our fabric, wire, a headband, a pattern, and scissors to cut out the fabric. So before I start cutting, I'm looking at the grain line of the fur. So the fur wants to be smoothed out this way. So that means when I cut my ears, I want the upper corner here, and I want the fur going downwards from the ear corner. So I'm going to mark my ear shape on the wrong side. And when I do that, I want to make sure it's lined this way. That way the fur is like facing downwards. I think that is the best idea. So I am going to end up having to cut out 4 pieces. So on this you can also write times 4 on your pattern, so you know which way or how many pieces you want to cut. And I'm going to just write outer here, because this is the outer part of the ear, this is the inner part.
On a scrap piece of faux fur, I tested out both Sharpie and eyeshadow to try adding calico spots. I liked how I could blend the eyeshadow, but did end up using both methods. I added wire to the inside to support the shape, make the ears bendable, and I would use it to attach the ears to the headband. I used hot glue on the corners to help them stay in place. Then I used hot glue to fuse the front and back of the ears together. I also used a comb to brush the fur in the right direction and smooth it out. I started to trim the fur with scissors.
I think they turned out a little large, a little big, a little bigger than I intended. So I'm probably gonna make another pair that'll be smaller, hopefully about there. Maybe I didn't need to add seam allowance. I think I'll take away the seam allowance and try again.
So messy. This is what happens when working with faux fur.
Good morning, everyone. It is now Wednesday morning. I finished my cat ears. Now, I did mostly color them with eyeshadow, but I did go over with Sharpie just to make it a bit more vibrant, and I really like them. They're super cute. I think they turned out pretty good. They're not like the greatest craftsmanship in the world, but I do like them. And I think they'll be fine for Friday. So, what I need to do today is make the tail. I think what I'm going to do is just make it a rectangle, and I will sew it, so I'll make a rectangle, turn it right sides in on itself, sew it down. I'll probably curve the end a little bit, maybe. We'll see if that would even show up. I mean, it's probably very forgiving because the fabric is fuzzy, so I don't think it has to be super accurate, but yeah. I'm just going to make a tube, I'll sew it, then I'll turn it right side out, and I think I'm just going to use a safety pin as the attachment. Then you can attach it to like basically anything, unless maybe you're just wearing armor. I don't think it would penetrate armor, but I think a safety pin will be good. Then it can be worn with practically anything. So I need to get started on that.
Me figuring out how long I wanted my tail, I decided on 23 inches. My rectangle was 23 by 4 inches. I was going to sew this by machine, but I forgot that my needle got bent and I can't find any extras. So hand sewing it is. Time to turn the tail right side out. It looks so cute! It's all wiggly! I sewed the open end closed and got a safety pin. Time for spots!